Hey everyone, welcome back to day number 3 of the Summit of Greatness recap, where I discuss some of the lessons that I learned from the Summit of Greatness in Columbus, Ohio this past week. Today, I was looking, what do we want to talk about today? What did I want to share with you today? And I thought I'd move a little bit out of order and go to the first speaker of day 2, which was Chris Guillebeau. And the reason I chose to switch to Chris today and the major lesson I learned from him was today his new book, Side Hustle from Idea to Income in 27 Days, comes out. It's a great book for entrepreneurs, those individuals who have some sort of idea and they want to generate some income or a side hustle. And this is something I've had this idea for a side hustle for several, I would say several months now, but haven't really taken the next step in moving towards that. And I got his book at the Summit of Greatness, was able to get it a couple days early, and really have enjoyed reading it so far and excited to move some of my ideas into action. And that's really what I want to talk about today, and what the main message or the one take-home point. There are many take-home points. Again, I've got 2 or 3 sheets of paper of notes from his talk alone. But the one I really want to share with you all is he was talking about inspiration and how that's fantastic, but action is better than inspiration. And so I think many of us as achievers, as healthcare providers, as students, as teachers, as people making great strides and doing great things with our own populations, with our own patients, with our own clients, in our own community, I think oftentimes we look for inspiration to help us through some of those tough times, and some of those times when we feel like we're giving ourselves to everyone around us. And it's definitely needed sometimes, and I think inspiration is fantastic. But what I got from this talk is that while you can have a great idea, you can feel inspired. I feel inspired to change the world. I feel inspired to do whatever your mission is. But that inspiration hasn't really come to fruition until you take action on that. So if you have a great idea, if you have a great way to serve others, maybe to make some extra income, to give back, to do good, right? That's fantastic. But in order to make that a reality, we really have to take action on that. And I think back to my life about how many times that I've been inspired to try something new, or I've been inspired to do something different with my life. And that may be anything from I'm going to wake up at 4:30 in the morning every day to work out. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to make a difference in the world. It doesn't matter what it is. How many times I've felt that way, but then I never took the next step in action. And this kind of relates back to another one of our speakers and another lesson I'll talk about later on in the week. But I was always inspired, and I've always felt inspired to do good work, but I often refused to take action. And so my inspirations never came to reality. And I'm sure you can think of things in your life where you had that same sort of inspiration that I felt, and action still wasn't taken. And this talk really inspired me to take action, and I have been taking action with a lot of the lessons that I learned from the Summit of Greatness, and also with this idea of my side hustle, my coaching business, my kind of content development business that I'd like to get off the ground, and that I'm taking the steps to do right now. This video that I'm sharing with you all, and this series of videos, is my actions on this idea, right? The inspiration is good, but action is better. That slide, that quote, that discussion point inspired me to take action, and so I'm taking action on that inspiration. And so I think it'll be an adventure, and I don't know where it's going to go from here, but I'm really excited, and I'm really happy that I chose to do this. And I hope there's something in your life where you've been inspired to do something, however, you haven't taken action on it. you've either been afraid, or you feel like you don't know what to do or how to do it. Um, you know, there are resources all around us if we choose to find them. We have colleagues who have fantastic resources. We have friends. There are books. Literally, the world is at your fingertips with Google in terms of how to do something. But the action of going from inspiration to reality is really what separates some people who could be potentially successful with those achievers and those high achievers or those high performers. And we'll talk about high performers and different habits about that later on in the week as well. So it seems like all of these things sort of tie together. And I think and the other thing I'd like to follow up and finish with this little lesson is that when we want to do good in the world, or we want to start a business, or we want to do anything new, right? There are typically two problems, and we need to have a blueprint to how to solve those problems. The first problem is you don't have a good idea, right? Chris talked about this in relation to starting a business. Like, you don't have a good idea. You don't have an idea. And the second problem is you have an idea, but you don't know what's next. And that's where, resources around you, the Side Hustle book, Google, friends, colleagues, other entrepreneurs, other high achievers, other achievers who have done similar things can serve as fantastic resources. I don't think any of us have a challenge with finding inspirational ideas. I think oftentimes we come up with excuses of why not to do things as opposed to why to follow through. We all have our own careers right now. We are all busy. We all have work responsibilities. Some of us have school responsibilities. Some of us have family responsibilities. Some of us have personal responsibilities that are all challenges for us. But everyone has those things. Everyone has those challenges. And it's really about finding value in the challenge and finding value in your idea. If it's valuable to you, you will invest in it. If work is valuable to you, you show up. If work's not valuable to you, you won't show up. If exercise is valuable to you, you will plan exercise and show up every day to do that, because that's how you demonstrate value. You oftentimes demonstrate value with your time, and it doesn't cost any money. There will be times when you may have to invest money in your inspiration or your idea to take it to the next level. But really, the first thing you need to do is invest time, because we all have the same amount of it. It's just how we spend it. And if we spend it chasing our dreams or moving towards our dreams, moving towards our reality, but also remembering to live in the moment. I think that's the fine balance of having a future vision for yourself and having a vision for your life, but also living in the present and following the path that your life takes you. And being okay with not having direction and not having a path. That's all okay. But I think that's a challenge that we often find ourselves in. I will touch on some of these ideas later in the week, because I think some of the other speakers that I alluded to earlier in this presentation, also those ideas kind of are a common thread through a lot of what happened at the Summit of Greatness. If you like this, please be sure to share it. Please be sure to like it on YouTube. Send me a message. Let me know what you thought. And hopefully I'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great day.